program that brings you all the important information you need to know about NAFDAC, the agency saddled with the responsibility of safeguarding our health by ensuring that the foods, drugs, cosmetics, and medical equipment made available to us are safe and wholesome. Welcome to NAFDAC and Your Health. My name is Tosin Omolaja. On this edition of the program, the advent of the novel coronavirus has made it extremely important to have on some sort of protective equipment, not only for people on the front lines of the fight against COVID-19, but health workers generally and even everyday ordinary people.
PPE is everything that is going to protect a human being from harm, from risks. And with COVID, of course, is face shield, mask, personal gown, gloves, and sometimes shoes that will fit tightly to the personal protective gown so that the person is covered from head to toe. It also includes head covers.
NAFDAC's role in ensuring that PPEs are available in optimum supply and of the highest standards for use in Nigeria is a critical part of its mandate as a regulatory body, and the agency has risen gallantly to its responsibilities in this regard and with other areas of its mandate, especially as the country battles the pandemic.
PPEs are medical devices, and one of the regulated products of NAFDAC is medical devices. Medical devices include, of course, PPEs, include testing kits, include diagnostics. So it's a huge area or group of medical products that NAFDAC regulates. Despite the damage that COVID has done on the health of the populace or the risks that have arisen, COVID has also woken us up from our slumber as a country. We are a creative people. We are competent if we want to. We are intelligent if we assert ourselves. But whether it is therapeutics or PPEs or whatever, we were too dependent. God has given us endowments that we can use to develop ourselves. And what has happened now? You see many people making the civil mask, face mask. The civil face mask should also be made with the context of protection, because all masks are not equal. If you use your Ankara, you have different types of Ankara in terms of thickness. There are different types of masks. The civil one, which is the common general one that people can use. You have the medical face mask. So you have the medical, you have the surgical one. The surgical one must be tightly fitted, and it should, first of all, it's called medical because you want to protect your patient, and you also want to protect yourself as a medical personnel from whatever the patient is bringing out, from breath, from sneezing and whatnot. Then you have the respirators. The respirators are grouped into two categories, N95, N98. The N95 filters out 95% of whatever is going to come into, to the user. So it's protective. Now, N98, of course, filters more. So that is the highest grade of face masks or surgical masks generally. So you have the medical, you have the surgical, and then you have the N95. Then you have, of course, face shield that you have to wear. And some people wear face shield alone. No, you are not protecting yourself by wearing face shield alone. You have to wear it with face mask. So that is the mask category of PPEs. Then you have the gowns.
Since Nigeria recorded its index case in February 2020, the agency had put in place measures to ensure that everything that's needed and is under its purview to ensure that the country defeats the ravaging virus is made available. So policies were immediately put in place to accelerate these.
Since the COVID-19 pandemic started, we changed completely the duration or the process, the approval process. For example, sanitizers will reduce it to 10 days to approve. Herbal medicines, we reduce that to 6 weeks for approval. The same thing with PPEs, even less than 6 weeks, so long as the applicant has all the necessary documents. If we give compliance directive, it may be, and the person doesn't, or the company doesn't respond quickly, then it may prolong it a little bit.
Many local organizations responded to this call and have received tremendous support from NAFDAC in setting up production of these essential products.
They've come to us and we've given them what they're supposed to do. Some of them are technical. Sometimes they don't understand what is IEC, what is ISO and whatnot. But we've been able to explain to them. For example, quality management system. A company must have ISO certification, and it doesn't take much to train 30 staff, 50 staff, or whatever they have on how to think of the customer, which is what we have gone through for the last 2 years. How to treat customers, how to make sure that you are thinking of the organization in terms of what you are making. Because if you are not thinking of the organization, people may be dirty, may use dirty hands to make the gloves and so on. But if you are thinking of the organization and the customer, which is essentially quality management system, or the focus of it, then the product on the long run will have quality.
These efforts have since been bringing forth fruits, especially in the areas of face mask production, face shields, and protective gowns.
Now we have a company, the first company in Nigeria, making surgical mask. It was commissioned about 2 weeks ago in Lagos. That is the ingenuity, the innovation that COVID has brought out of us in Nigeria. And that company went through our regulatory process. We examined, we tested, we inspected the site to know whether it has good manufacturing practice compliance, and it did.
Care Industries is one of such organizations born out of the need to combat the novel coronavirus and took advantage of NAFDAC's support and regulatory insights to emerge as the first face mask production company in Nigeria.
I was impressed. They impressed me. I must give credit to the DG and to the directors working with her, because this product or this dream or vision started at the peak of the lockdown, when there was no movement. Okay, there was then practically no movement in Lagos. Lagos was shut down for 6 weeks to 8 weeks. Okay, so I got a call across to her, even before we started, to know she said that even if there's a lockdown, that they can still work remotely. They can do virtual visitation. We can send all our documentations online, which we did. We sent all the requirements, we filled the form online, we forwarded, they corrected it, they reviewed it, they went through it, and then there were lots of pushbacks, as usual, you know. But amazingly, they were able to deliver within a month. I think it took them a month from the time that we applied to the time that they delivered. So I was quite impressed that they went out of their way to... I learned that the board used to meet maybe once a month to consider all the applications, okay? And ours was submitted after the board had met. A week after the board had met, we submitted our application. So they were supposed to wait for the next month, but she was able to call up the members of the board, and they had an emergency meeting over our application, and then they were able to approve it. Yeah, actually, this Care medical face mask is a medical graded face mask, and we actually didn't spare any money or cost in making sure that we produce it to match industry standard, or to meet industry standard, or any standard anywhere in the world, okay, by the materials that we used. For example, there's what is called no stick. If you see many masks, there is a stick that will hold the nose bridge. Okay, now what we did was we made sure that ours is a double core, dual core. We could have used single core. We could have used plastic. Okay, these plastics don't stay firm on the nose. You will see people when they wear it. Let me just show you. When people, well, let me just teach people how to wear mask. Many people don't know how to wear mask. I've seen many people, they wear it this way. They say that it was what they saw on social media. No, you don't wear mask this way. This is the skin layer. The white layer is the skin layer that should be on your flesh. While the blue layer or the green layer, the green color or the blue color is the outmost layer. And it does like a lacquer on top of it to make sure that the splashes and droplets, okay, and the virus are checked. That's the first, the outward layer. Then in the middle layer is what we call melt blown. That's the filter of this mask, okay, that actually made it medical graded. Many masks you have in the market, most especially imported masks from China, don't have that melt blown. Okay, what they do is they will double the skin layer, okay, and put the blue layer or the green layer to still make it three-ply. If you weigh it, it's the same weight, but then it does not have melt blown, which is the filter. Now, what melt blown does is, that is what stops the virus and the bacteria from coming in. You understand? And it is so light because it allows air also, oxygen can easily go through, and carbon dioxide that you breathe out can easily pass through. So when you wear a mask, you put the nose stick on the top of your nose, put the air rope, pull it to cover your chin, and then use your hand to flatten it on your nose bridge. Now, what this does is it does not allow carbon dioxide, air, to come out to blur your glasses, especially if you wear glasses. If you wear glasses, you need a firm nose stick. So it doesn't allow air to come out to blur your glasses. And then it makes it to stay firm, that you can talk all day while you are wearing your mask without having, like I've seen some people when they want to talk, they remove it to talk. Number one, because they're not breathing well. Number two, because this thing keeps pulling down. But if you have a firm nose stick that is very firm and fits your chin, you don't need to touch the front of the mask, because using your finger to touch the front of the mask might have been infected, and if it was infected, then it can now become a secondary infection wherever you touch. You can see the staff that are working, they all have their hand gloves. They all have their hand gloves. There's no physical touch of the mask from the time that the mask is cut to when the mask is packed in their various boxes. And then again, also, the machines are cleaned regularly. The floor is, you can look at the floor, okay? There is no air coming in from anywhere. You can look at the building itself, okay? We made sure that there is no where physical air is coming in, okay? Everywhere is sealed, and the floor is epoxy. It can easily be cleaned and washed, okay? So this is to maintain the high hygiene standard that is required.
We'll take a short break now. Don't go away. Welcome back. If you're just joining in, you're watching NAFDAC and Your Else.
We have reusable and disposable protective gowns, but you also have reusable protective gowns made of the right fabric that can be washed. With COVID-19, washing with soap will destroy the virus. After you've washed with soap and you dry it, it clears everything. So there is nothing wrong in reusable protective gowns, so long as the material or the fabric is the type of fabric that you can use many times, and it will not wear out. It will still be protected. We now have a company in Aba making protective gowns. And the thing about the company in Aba is they listen to the NAFDAC officers that advise them on the environment. The environment must be clean, very, very clean. And they use UV light to sterilize after they finish making. They put the gowns in a container, or almost like a freezer type of container, horizontal, and to use UV light to sterilize it. To me, that is what COVID has brought out of us. The Cross River State government, they have a PPE center, or where they manufacture. They manufacture civil masks. They've not gone into surgical masks. I will not be surprised if they go, but they manufacture protective gowns.
Officers of the agency were on ground in Calabar to inspect the facility and guide the setup of the facility and to ensure that set standards of quality and safety are followed.
We have registered face masks, that is the cloth barrier mask. We have registered the product, and now they intend to go into coveralls. That is the suit that the medical personnel wear for protection. And that is why we have come to see what the factory looks like, if they are able to undertake it, to encourage them, to see this encouragement NAFDAC can give them to be able to produce these garments for the medical personnel, knowing that there's a lot of shortage of the PPEs for the medical staff, at least to protect them. That's why we have come to see how we are going to work with the state government to improve their systems, what they have on ground, to produce quality products. That is the coveralls and the mask that the medical people are going to use to ensure that at every point in time, they produce products, personal protective equipment, that is the coveralls and the mask, that meet good quality, that they are safe and they are effective. We have come to encourage them to set up quality management system that is going to be fully documented, that is going to be well maintained, that is going to be controlled, and is going to be monitored. By the time they produce these PPEs, personal protective equipment, we subject them to analysis, to a laboratory evaluation and other regulatory requirements of global standard to ensure that they do what they are supposed to do, to ensure that they have the performance that they are supposed to do when the people using them use them. That's also why we have come, to ensure quality.
We all know because of the global pandemic of COVID-19, medical PPEs have become very, very scarce. And for a government, a state government in Nigeria to bring up this initiative to start producing it is a very, very laudable initiative. And we are here as NAFDAC to encourage them, both the state coordinator and I. We've been guiding them from the beginning, and they have succeeded in registering their barrier mask. And we are going to guide them further for them to be able to meet up all the required international standards for all the other PPEs, medical PPEs that they are going to be producing. I will continue to work it out with them until they are able to meet the international standard.
Beyond encouraging local production of essential PPEs for the Nigerian populace, NAFDAC is also working internally, upgrading its laboratory to meet the regulatory demands of these products.
NAFDAC is set up now, not fully, but set up now to test PPEs, masks, protective gowns. Of course, gloves, we've been doing that before now. But part of this intervention fund that the government is providing is to capacitate NAFDAC to do more, because you may need to have like 6 tests for a particular item or mask or whatever. But if you don't have 4 out of 6 or something, then there may be a problem. So we are getting more equipment as we speak in order to make sure that our test is very robust.
NAFDAC continues to encourage organizations to join the race to ensure Nigeria is adequately insulated with the required PPEs, hand sanitizers, and so on.
We come alongside any company to make sure they are in compliance, because we cannot approve things that are not of international standards or they are not using best practices, because it hurts at the end of the day.
It's time now for NAFDAC updates.
NAFDAC Southeast Zone trains workforce for effective service delivery. The Southeast Zone of NAFDAC has embarked on training and retraining officers to measure up to current realities in order to effectively discharge their regulatory duties. According to the director of the Southeast Zone of NAFDAC, pharmacist Olajumoke Ojetokun, training and retraining are very essential for effective service delivery. The training, which was on electronic registration of NAFDAC regulated products under the MSME category, was conducted virtually. According to Ojetokun, with this training and retraining, society would be guaranteed of consuming quality products while securing the lives of Nigerians. The purpose of the training was to make the agency regulatory staff to acquire new knowledge and carry out their duties effectively through the electronic registration of NAFDAC regulated products under the MSME category without any problem. NAFDAC warns Nigerians against indulging in obnoxious practice. The National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has warned Nigerians not to indulge in obnoxious practices in the name of protecting themselves against the novel coronavirus COVID-19 that is ravaging the world today. According to the agency, it has been observed that some Nigerians have engaged in drinking of hot water with salt to prevent themselves against COVID-19, as many had done during the time of Ebola. The Assistant Director in charge of Food Safety and Applied Nutrition, Mr. Iheire Venatius, however, appealed to the general public to maintain proper hygiene and other preventive measures as recommended by the Federal Ministry of Health and the World Health Organization to protect themselves against the novel coronavirus. NAFDAC inspects products on display at Enugu International Trade Fair. The Southeast Zone of NAFDAC recently embarked on an inspection tour of stands at the Enugu International Trade Fair to ensure that the products on the display were certified by NAFDAC. NAFDAC State Coordinator, Pharmacist Chike Obiana, stated that all unregistered products remain fake as long as they do not pass through the agency registration process. Hence, he advised the public to always check out for NAFDAC registration number and expiry date before any purchase. However, the Chief Regulatory Officer in charge of the just concluded Enugu International Trade Fair, Mrs. Helen Okanya, said almost all the products at the trade fair were certified by the agency. That's it on NAFDAC Update. You've been updated.
That's our package for today. Please join us same time, same station next week for a fresh edition. In the meantime, if you have comments, complaints, or you want to report activities of fake drugs or adulterated food product peddlers, our doors are always open. You can reach NAFDAC via toll-free numbers. For inquiries, call 0700 162 3322. For complaints, please call 0800 162 3322 or email nafdac@nafdac.gov.ng. Importing, producing, distributing and selling fake drugs and cosmetics, adulterated food, and so on are criminal activities that destroy lives. Join the fight against these heinous crimes by reporting any suspicious activity in your area to NAFDAC. Let's join hands to safeguard the health of our nation. Till next week, stay safe.